Oh, didn't see you there. Do y'all like gaming news? I do. Hey folks, I'm Shygrim, and this is the Screencap. Nintendo finally announced a new line of Switch models, the Switch Lite. There were some articles a while ago speculating on whether they were going to announce any new models at E3, and Nintendo replied back, shattering everyone's dreams. However, that was them saying no to an E3 announcement. In this recent reveal, Nintendo stated what this new Switch model is all about. The Switch Lite will be limited to handheld mode only, so you can't dock it and play on your TV, and you can't remove the joycons. So it's not a Switch, it's a 1DS. Nintendo says that by doing this, they're able to make the Switch slimmer, lighter, as well as have better battery life. Since the Joy-Cons are now built into the system, you do lose out on the IR sensor and the HD rumble, so that's kind of disappointing, but to be honest, not many games even used HD rumble. Most games just use it as a basic rumble feature. This Switch is a bit smaller. The screen is 5.5 inches compared to the 6.2 inches of the big Switch, but that's not a huge loss in my opinion. Sadly, the colors of the Switch Lite are kind of meh. You get a nice looking gray, but then the yellow and turquoise kind of look gross to me. The Switch Lite's releasing September 20th and will cost $200, so $100 cheaper than the base model Switch. So, I mean, it's a downgrade, not an upgrade, but I mean, it'll be available to more people, so that's cool. I'm sure you're all well aware of Tetris 99 by now, but it's getting some new DLC. Again, the last DLC release was not too long ago and it added some new features, but this new DLC will probably include all the features that players could ask for in a Tetris client. This new DLC will finally have offline multiplayer, so battle mode. I felt that the single player was lacking a couple things, you know, when I bought the last DLC, but now I pretty much have everything. So what's also interesting is that Tetris 99 is also getting a physical release. What? That'll come with a year of Nintendo Switch Online. So if you really want this game case added to your shelf, you might as well pick it up. No price or release date has been given for either of these yet, but we'll keep you updated when more news comes our way. Cuphead, the game known for its difficulty and award-winning art and animation, is getting its own cartoon on Netflix, I guess. Why? I mean, okay, I guess. I'm a little scared because I don't know of any good cartoon adaptations of video games. This was announced on Twitter and a quote reads, "Witness the wondrous Inkwell Isles as you've never seen them before in an original series inspired by classic animation styles of the 1930s. This show will be intended for all audiences and not just aimed towards children." The showrunners state that they're aiming for the same sort of feel that the original game puts out. So how many episodes are gonna cover the tutorial, huh? Got him. The show's storyline will be similar to that of the games, but I assume that it'll go into much more story detail since the game kind of lacks any, in my opinion. I mean, it's a video game story. It doesn't make any sense, but sure. There's no set date on when the show will air, but I'll at least watch an episode or two. Now I'm just waiting for the threads, is Cuphead an anime? Every so often we talk about a video game that's getting turned into a board game. Well, not this time. Apparently, it's the opposite. The very fun dungeon crawler board game Gloomhaven is getting a video game adaptation. Sadly, I haven't had the chance to play this one yet. I see the box for it at my friend's house sitting there wanting to be played, but you know, whatever. The Gloomhaven video game is hitting Steam Early Access on July 17th, and what's interesting is that it'll be considerably cheaper than buying the original board game version. It'll also be less of a pain since you won't have to sleeve all the cards as well as other things that you have to do with board games to keep them in good condition. This video game version will be a turn-based dungeon crawler involving parties of 2 to 4 mercenaries and also includes a roguelike mode if that's more your style. The video game version of Gloomhaven will cost around $25, so it's about a fourth of the price of the board game. If you're a fan of the board game but don't always have people ready to play in person, then maybe consider picking this one up. There's recently been a lot of big news about G2A. If you don't know, G2A is a site that sells game keys for usually cheaper than other platforms because it's kind of like an eBay type situation where people can upload their keys. But the background of where the keys come from can be kind of sketchy. With all the recent controversy around them and whether or not they're intentionally selling stolen game keys, came with a little bit of news. An employee at G2A has attempted to pay 10 different journalists for favorable media coverage. One of those was us, so go to G2A. No, I'm just kidding. That's a little sketchy. Trying to pay for favorable coverage really makes it look like you're doing something and you're trying to cover it up. G2A did not identify this employee, but has stated that they will be reprimanded for their behavior. I mean, only a punishment? Shouldn't they be fired? I'm pretty sure that's illegal to try doing, but alright, it just keeps sounding worse and worse. G2A has been having a hard time proving to consumers and developers that their marketplace is totally legit, and with the actions taken by the employee talked about earlier, I feel like they know they're doing something wrong, and it's not entirely legal. Essentially, developers are like, please, for the love of God, just pirate our game rather than buying it on G2A, which that's kind of telling, huh? Dr. Mario World is out now on iOS and Android. We talked about this a bit ago, and I mean, it's Dr. Mario, but Kind of. There's some changes that we talked about in our earlier video, but other than the fact that it's basically just a puzzle game for your phone, it's also filled with microtransactions. As to be expected from a mobile game, but Nintendo, really? You could of course just play the game and not pay any money like a normal person, but if you want diamonds, you can buy packs of them for $2 all the way up to $70. Thanks. Either way, it looks like a fun little puzzle game, and I've been a fan of Dr. Mario for a while, so I might check it out. I haven't yet, but I might. Anyway, that's gonna do it for us today at the Screencap. We've got some more videos for you up here, so feel free to check those out. Feel free to subscribe to the channel as well. You don't have to. You do not have to. You don't have to.